Alrighty then. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone and welcome back to 4 Pixels. Coco is here with Saku and Rosh and we are continuing Ace Attorney investigations.
Hello.
The panic and standoff right now. Everyone's pointing. Let's see what happens. So, Detective Gumshoe, have you got the results of the handwriting analysis already?
Yup. And that note was definitely written by Mr. Cochin, sir.
Just as I thought. Good work, Detective. He said it again!
Is this one?
Faye just tackles him from behind. Who are you?
He's the killer!
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. How long do you intend to hold us up for?
Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now everyone is finally here. I can sing you all a song.
We're waiting.
Great song, dude.
Thank you. I thought it was. Agent Sheena, I'd like to ask you something if you don't mind.
You know, I think it's because
You
of
can
something
put-
that Bink said, and since she's like, let's playing this right now too. But it's really hard to see like the little bridge for his shades. So if you look at it too closely, they look like those are just his eyes.
He's got a big, like, weird scar or something.
He's not a wolf man, he's a fly man.
Just call me Jeff Goldblum.
I would, but
Yeah.
there's only one of those.
You know what? That's fair.
Agent Sheena, is it cool if I ask you something?
Yes.
How exactly did you fail to see the Yatagarasu? When you were in the neighboring room to where Mr. Kochan was killed. I'd like you to explain that to us.
Had my back turned to the window.
What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. What are you doing asking her about something she didn't see?
Agent Lang hasn't touched the Babel investigation at all,
Gross.
so I suppose I'll need to explain a few things to him first.
Ms. Edgeworth, I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours.
A musical number. The only thing going on in my head is The Pursuit of the Truth, which is the
And he
title
said
of my
it was,
Broadway musical.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. They both reached for the gun, the gun, the gun.
For the gun.
God, I need to
Oh.
listen to that again.
It sounds like you have some sort of plan. Very well, I'll supervise you until the end, little brother.
Is she seriously going to treat me as a subordinate for the rest of the day? That was nice, Edgeworth. Be grateful that your sister loves you.
Also, rest of the day? You're optimistic.
You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinate on some flimsy guess, are you?
I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you will see.
I should have known that you and I are destined to fight it out to the very end.
It would appear that way.
Well, I'll prove her innocence. So let's see what you've got, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
And then his hand just like curls over her hand, and his hand goes to her hip, and
Near, far, wherever you are.
Damn it, he's got me beat on musical numbers. That was beautiful. But with pleasure.
God, why do I always run out of tea when I'm voicing this guy?
For my opening argument, I'll discuss the Atagarasu that appeared in Babel. And establish exactly who it was that Kay saw. Agent Lang. I assume you've been briefed on Kay's testimony.
You mean the suspicious person in a coat that you saw?
That's right. The person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretended to be the Atagarasu.
Pretended? And what do you mean by that?
Well, it's when you put on a costume and you
Shut
say
up,
that you're
man.
one. I'll get to that in a second. But first, I want to review what this person Kay saw did. Kay, if you could please explain what the person you were chasing did for us.
Okay, you've got it. I first spotted the suspicious person near the open air stage on the Babalese side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did, that person ran off. I thought it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase.
For the sake of argument, let's call this suspicious person Yatagarasu. Now, please tell us what happened when you chased the Yatagarasu up to the 3rd floor.
Can do. I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Babalese embassy. It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until the sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Kochin's office. I gave chase and ran into the room. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the light, but then...
Who's there?
By the time I had turned on the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared.
When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose that was, Agent Lang?
Ghosts. What do you mean? Why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? The person slipped out through the door behind the girl, under the cover of darkness.
Objection! Person is not Batman. Sorry, but I know for a fact the person didn't escape through that door.
Oh, and how do you know that with such certainty?
That's easy. If the Atakarasu had left through that door, they would have run right into this person.
Sheena? Manny coached him. I've seen him before.
Your answer is Sheena.
Yes, because let's consider what would have happened if the Atakarasu had used the door. When Kay screamed upon discovering Mr. Kochan's body, the Atakarasu would have run right into Agent Sheena, who was in the next room over.
Ugh.
Agent Sheena, Would you mind telling us if you saw the suspicious person in question?
No, I didn't see anyone.
You see, therefore, the Atakarasu.
It just means that the creep slipped out before Sheena made it out into the hallway.
I doubt that, as there was another person in that hallway, a certain detective. Detective Gumshoe, where were you exactly at the time?
Me, sir? Well, when I heard Kay scream... sorry, just a second, sir, I'm a bit bored by all this. No, sorry, I didn't get much sleep last night. I ran towards Mr. Cochin's office from the opposite direction of Agent Sheena, sir.
So, Agent Lang, can you explain how someone could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route.
Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth. You nailed him with just an explanation of what happened.
Yes, I nailed him. I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room.
I need to update my exception list with Phoenix.
Phoenix takes one look at him and is like, yeah, go for it.
I'll put him on my list too. But this is far from over. I need to make Agent Lang aware as well that he's on my list. And of yet another possible escape route the Yatagarasu could have taken.
I get it. So that's what you were trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you're trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out.
Precisely.
Hi, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time to bust out our revolving fireplace wall explanation, right?
No, not quite yet. I don't know if you just said that to me or if they heard you.
Huh? But why? I thought this would be the perfect time.
The revolving wall on the Babalese side is known only to people. And if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end.
What's with all the whispering over there? Scared I'll figure out your tactics?
Nothing of the sort, Agent Lang. Come, let's continue where we left off.
That smug, haughty attitude of yours. You really rub me the wrong way, you know that? Well, no matter. I figured you out already anyway.
Oh no, he's figured me out.
I was about to say something, I was like, no, Coco would have to block that out. I'm not gonna do it, I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
You people will never know.
The only other possible escape route...
I can't make that...
Okay, the only other possible escape route besides the door is the room's lone window.
Sorry, the elevator word and besides was really throwing me. I had to quickly
Yeah,
put
it
my
was.
glasses on.
And since an eerie picture of said escape route exists... Are you saying that this photo captures the moment of the Yatagarasu's escape?
I guess Detective Bad must have filled him in on this photo. I have to admit that at first I thought the window to be a possible escape route as well. However, I now know that to be impossible.
Now, I realize you may not know this, but humans can't fly.
Of course I know that. That's bloody common sense. Besides, I never said I thought that photo to be of the Yatagarasu's escape route.
I suppose not. Alright then, explain yourself.
The shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu that Kay was chasing after.
You can say whatever you'd like in whatever language you want.
Oh, okay. Bear that in mind.
But there's only one language I really understand. The language of evidence.
Very well then.
Just so happens I'm fluent.
I am fluent in evidence. I present to you proof that the person Kay saw is not the same as the one
Manny Cochin. I've seen him
in
before.
this photo.
I just can't. Like, whenever I see it,
I've
I'm
seen
just
him
like...
before.
So I can really ground that one into my memory.
I just love it so much. I don't know what they want to see. Is it the wire, maybe? Fire! Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu Kay saw. Kay spotted the Yatagarasu heading to the 3rd floor during the 2nd fire. However, the photo in question was taken just after the 1st fire.
I never know how to voice that.
Yeah, way to go. That's twice you've bit him in the butt now.
Sorry, that just reminded me of this joke. It was from this show that we had for a little while in the UK called Mock the Week, which was like a news joke thing. So it was Week, WEEK. And at the very end of it, they would give them like a subject and they had to do like one line of stand-up for it. And the subject they gave them was like true crime, unlikely things to hear. And it was like, you know, you can kill 6 guys and you don't get a serial killer name. But you bite one guy in the arse cheek, and suddenly you're the butt biter. Sorry about that.
We're not done yet. You still have to explain what that shadow is.
I'll tell you what it's not. It's not the butt biter.
And how the Yatagarasu escaped. I don't suppose you can answer both, can you? Mr. Buttbiter.
No. Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet.
Oh, is that what it meant when Phoenix said you ate his ass? I'm sorry. Coco, please just delete me.
Okay.
It'd be really strange if
Finger
there
coming
was
down on the delete button, and there we go.
delete me from the internet.
Sorry.
Alright.
As
Gotta
I
do
thought.
that.
Ha! As I thought.
I'm back, baby.
However, the Yatagarasu's escape route, now that I can answer.
You can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on! Enlighten me.
Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You were busy heading up the Alabastian investigation, correct?
Well, that's hard. Alabastian investigation.
Why do they do this to me? In that case, I doubt you'd have much knowledge about the Babalese side of the case. So wouldn't it be best if if the lead on that side, Agent Sheena, explained in my stead?
Sheena is my subordinate! If I don't stick up for her, how can I look her in the eyes and call myself her boss?
Do you do that often?
Aw.
I'm your boss!
Our bedroom activities are not for him to know, sir. Lang, it's all right. I can take care of him.
Sheena.
You've shielded me a lot as my boss. And when you tuck me into sleep and tell me you're my boss. Sorry. It's been stupid. But it's time for me to prove my worth.
All right. If you're okay with it, then you have my support.
The mask is starting to crack. Finally, it's down to just Agent Sheena and myself. This is where the battle really begins.
Now then, what is it you'd like to ask?
Let's see. How do you get your white so white? No, why don't we start with your movements inside the Babalese embassy? That would be more relevant.
Well, first I make sure to spray them with a stain remover, and then I pour a cupful of the stain remover into the drawer alongside a tablet that you put directly into the drum of the washing machine.
Tell me more.
During the first Babalese fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that had appeared in Babel. Here is my skittle. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists. And that is all I have to say.
But I'm not lying when I say I saw the suspicious person run into Mr. Cochin's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony.
Good.
Just to confirm, did you have a partner when you were on your investigation?
Why do you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's standing right there. It's Gumshoe. He's my partner.
I thought
He's my life partner. That's it.
No. I moved alone.
In that case, you have no one... ... to corroborate your alibi. Is that correct?
Are you calling her suspicious because she was in a room by herself? How pathetic.
And it wasn't when Agent Sheena tried to arrest Kay. And it wasn't Agent Sheena tried to arrest Kay under the same rationale. How about when you accused Larry because he was the weapon's owner?
Not that it's unexpected for that useless lump to get into such a situation. Although I suppose it's never a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected.
I will make no excuse for what I did in that situation.
Then you should apologise right now for making Kay out to be the killer, pal.
I'm sorry. Sheena, apologize.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, really. I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore, and I mean, you know, it wasn't a bad time.
You can help me really nicely, actually.
Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Nobody held me. Well, I never doubted you, not for 1 second.
And Gumshoe with the absolutely filthy coat from crawling through the fireplace, just like, can I get in, sir?
Aww.
And then sorry. And the same goes for me. I believe in Sheena.
And
I'm
Gumshoe
really
believes in
so-
angels.
Aye.
No,
You
what
want me to tell you about the hierarchy, eh? Bring back all the shitty jokes, aren't we?
No, detective. I want to know what Rush was going to say.
I'm just going to be so heartbroken for him when it turns out she's the killer. Or like,
I'm already heartbroken for him.
part of the smuggling ring, or like kicked a puppy one time that he really liked. Like, I just whatever throw the game puts in this.
Alright, like, if she kicked a puppy, he should have known, and he only has himself to blame. You
True.
can sense
He is
that
a
in
puppy.
people.
She's probably kicked him a few times.
He's the puppy that she kicked.
Yes. He already knows.
This promises to be interesting.
I only think I figured it out at the start of the scene, so I feel very slow.
During the first Babyliss fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. Someone really should have read this line out when they translated it.
So you help with the fire extinguishing effort. That would be a better way of putting it.
I was in charge of the police on the Babyliss side, so I helped them with their work.
Did you work to help them with their work? Police doing the job of firemen. You really know how to work people.
She sure does. That's because she's one awesome woman who knows how to manage.
I guess so. She's always bringing you a business card or a scroll at just the right time.
To prepare everything before I'm ordered to. That's the definition of a secretary. She kind of seems more capable than Agent Lang, doesn't she?
At the very least, she's certainly more capable than you, detective.
Oh, I kind of had a feeling you were going to say that.
At least he's not a robot anymore.
Sheena's more than just a capable secretary, you know. Sheena, tell him what other things you're good at.
So cute.
All right. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that had appeared in Babel.
By the second fire, you mean the one that consumed the third floor of Babel, correct?
Yes, that was when the suspicious person was spotted in Babel.
Then you were after the same person in the long coat that I was after.
There is no proof that the suspicious person was really the Yatagarasu. Because no one was able to get a good look at the person's face.
By the way, how was your team's investigation?
In order to extinguish the fire, water was pumped into the third floor via the windows. So the majority of the investigators conducted their searches on other floors.
Maybe they did, but there was one person who was wandering around lost on the third floor.
When the fire was pretty much out, I moved to investigate the third floor.
And you did that alone?
Yes.
I'm judging you.
While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over.
That was just Francisca whipping somebody. So you were in the room next to Mr. Kochen's office.
I already told you I was earlier, as I was examining the neighboring room. I heard that girl's shrill scream. Upon hearing her, I immediately ran towards Mr. Kochen's office.
Wherein you proceeded to arrest her, as I recall. There was some grabbing involved.
Yes, I did, and I may have put my hand on her hands to hold them behind her back, but I was not holding her in a way that...
But she was totally innocent, pal. I thought we'd already cleared that up.
The ambassador will be sad he missed that description.
And I thought I had already apologized for my behavior. Now, if the tenacious detective would be so kind as to be quiet...
I have to agree. Right now is not the time to take issue with that.
No, you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Of course, me too. What I do take issue with is the fact that you didn't see the Atagarasu, Agent Shina.
The prosecutors of this country are all so strange.
You know what? The woman's got a point.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking. Worst person you know just made great point.
Lang's just like, I love her so much. And then he's gonna be so sad.
I know.
Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu.
Your sunglasses were too dark. You were unable to catch even a glimpse despite being in the next room. Is that true?
I really hate to repeat myself.
Yeah, that gives me a nervous tick and I have to flick my head from side to side. I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. However, I simply wish to make sure that you are not misremembering something. We wouldn't want you to be accused of lying later on, would we?
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Are you calling Sheena's testimony a lie?
Agent Lang, I'm talking with Agent Shina right now. Wait your turn. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't interrupt us with superfluous comments.
You know, I feel kind of bad for him.
I understand his pain at watching one of his subordinates being accused. However, I cannot turn my eyes from the truth.
Lang, I'm alright. And as for you, I think you should be focusing your doubts on that girl rather than me.
And why is that?
To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists.
Are you throwing Kay's words into doubt again?
Well, she does claim to be the Yatagarasu, right? And she did try to chase down the Yatagarasu, despite being just an average citizen.
Actually, she came here with the goal of capturing the fake Yatagarasu.
That's right, which is why I would never lie about anything related to the Yatagarasu.
And I suppose you have proof of that somewhere?
Not quite, but even without any, I have people who believe in me, and that's enough.
I love Kay.
She's so cute.
I see.
Kay's testimony was without flaw, but as for yours... Well, let's just say that I find your testimony to be a bit suspicious. There seems to be a very large flaw in her testimony.
Oh, then why don't you show her using what we found out with the little thief?
I will in due time. The escape route of the Yatagarasu that Kay was in pursuit of. If it turns out that it really does lead right to Agent Sheena, then what is it that she is keeping from us right now? Ambassador, get out! They're busy! She speaks truthies too. Being in the room next to Mr. Kochen's office is the problem with your testimony.
Mr. Prosecutor, I don't see what problem you're talking about at all.
Agent Lang, do you recall the secret we discovered about the Alabastian office fireplace?
Huh. Oh, you mean how it connects to the office with the room next door? What about it?
Well, Alabast isn't the only country with secret connecting fireplaces.
What?
The fireplace in Mr. Kochen's office holds the exact same secret.
What?
The Yatagarasu didn't escape through the door to the room or the window. The escape route was through the revolving fireplace wall and into the next room over. Now do you see? Has the penny dropped? If if the Yatagarasu had escaped into the next room. Then the thief would have run straight into Agent Sheena.
My back was turned.
Meaning that it's impossible for her to have missed the Yatagarasu.
What is the meaning of these smiles?
Well, would you care to explain, Agent Sheena? How you managed to completely miss the fleeing Yatagarasu? Or shall I?
And with that, we'll end this episode right here. Thank you folks for joining us and see you next time.
Bye.